In ancient Chinese stories, there was a cruel emperor. He slaughtered people to run empires and enslaved them to build the Great Wall. But he buried those who died underneath. Emperor mastered some magic. Most people know him as a tyrant and also as a guy obsessed with living forever. Until one day, he sent General Ming to find a witch named Zi Yuan, a woman who knows a spell to make someone live forever. General Ming managed to meet her. They both then faced Emperor. But as time goes by, General Ming and the witch fall in love, but this can be bad for them, because Emperor also wanted to have that woman. In the next moment, Zi Yuan recited an incantation in a foreign language that Emperor could not understand. Emperor then knows about Zi Yuan and Ming's relationship. He was angry and killed both of them. But he did not know about the incantation that Zi Yuan was chanting before. It was not for immortality, but a curse. Now, the incantation reacted. Emperor and his entire army were turned into stone. But Zi Yuan, who was injured, managed to flee. Thousands of years have passed. In 1946, in England, Rick O'Connell is enjoying retirement with his wife, Evelyn. They are known as an adventurer couple who have handled many things regarding mummies and supernatural problems in various parts of the world. They also have a son named Alex. Currently, Alex is doing archaeological research in Ningxia Province, China. He was accompanied by a senior archaeology professor, Roger Wilson, who was an old friend of his father's. The archaeologists excavated an ancient emperor's head statue and they found an old gate. Therein lies statues of warriors from ancient times. However, their journey is not easy. They faced with various kinds of deadly traps. Even some teams died from being hit by arrows. Even so, Alex and Professor Wilson have a strong plan to find the emperor's body. Inside the crypt, they find an old compass and rotate it. Suddenly the underground gate opens. Alex falls through it. That's where he found a statue of Emperor on a horse-drawn carriage. Everything is still intact. Shortly after he fell, Alex is attacked by a woman in ninja suit named Lin. Lin was descended from the caretaker of Emperor's tomb for centuries. They then fight, but when Wilson fired several shots, that woman immediately ran away. In England, Rick and Evelyn get an assignment from the government to be willing to deliver ancient artifacts to Shanghai. That object is the Eye of Shangri-La. It is believed to be a magical item that can point the way to the pool of eternal life. Rick and Evelyn accepted the offer. They flew to Shanghai and stopped by a bar to meet Jonathan, an old friend of theirs. Coincidentally, their son Alex was also there that night. Meanwhile, in a remote paramilitary outpost in West China, there is an evil general named Yang. He and his soldiers intend to raising Emperor from the dead. They hoped Emperor would lead back China to be prosperous like when he ruled in the past. Alex proudly invited his parents to see the statue of Emperor. That was his greatest discovery. Rick hands over the artifact to Professor Wilson, but all plans change when Wilson betrays Rick. He has conspired with General Yang for the artifact and forces Rick to open the chest. When General Yang found out that Evelyn really loved Rick, they then used a drop of Evelyn's blood to open the eyes of Shangri-La. They understand that only the blood of a person with true love can open it. At the same time, Alex saw Lin, the female ninja he had fought with in the Emperor's tomb. After a few minutes of serious talk, Lin then allied Alex and planned to jointly stop General Yang's plan. Evelyn's blood that had been dripped earlier opened the artifact and flashed. Each piece became a snake form and emitting blue light from the inside. Lin and Alex tried to prevent them, but it was too late. General Yang spilled liquid from the Eye of Shangri-La right onto the chest of Emperor's statue. Now the Emperor is resurrected to life in a hideous form, and so is his carriage. General Yang immediately submitted his service to Emperor and rode in his horse-drawn carriage, but Professor Wilson's fate was unlucky. When he was about to speak, Emperor cut off his head with the stone hand. The streets of Shanghai are in chaos. Emperor plans to go somewhere. Rick chases him in a truck carrying fireworks. Rick even used it to shoot Emperor, but failed. Lin, who was still on the horse carriage, tried to stab Emperor with a special dagger, but failed. Emperor, who was assisted by General Yang, spurred their horses and managed to escape. Because can't afford to catch up anymore, they had to retreat. Evelyn was forced to jump from the truck, while Rick is trying to get off from the headless horse that's out of control. They then take a break at Jonathan's bar while treating their wounds. At the bar, Lynn shows a special dagger that is believed to kill Emperor if it is stabbed straight to the heart. She also explains to Alex's family that Emperor is heading to Shangri-La to do some ritual. They are all trust Lynn, then get on an old aircraft flown by a crazy pilot. They fly to the Himalayas to find the location of Shangri-La. At the same time, in a remote outpost, General Yang vows to serve Emperor. He also shows the diamond, which is the eye of Shangri-La, which can release Emperor from an ancient curse. Rick and his team have landed. They spend the night in an old building. And in the morning, they continued their journey on the snowy mountainside until they arrived at an old temple which they called the Gateway. This place was also targeted by Emperor to do his rituals. Alex and his father prepared weapons and planted some dynamite in the area. Not long after, the Emperor and General Yang's army also arrived there. They shot each other. Some of General Yang's soldiers were killed. Meanwhile, Lin shouted something in a foreign language to call Yeti, a legendary creature inhabiting the snowy peaks and forested slopes of the Himalayas. The monsters then help Lin. They fight with humans to defeat Emperor's army. While the battle was still going on, Emperor controlled the snow and turned off all the dynamite that had been set up. He climbed the dome and managed to put the diamond on top of it. When the layer of snow collapses and slides downhill, Yeti also protects Rick and his team. They all survive the avalanche. But Rick was injured while trying to save his son. With Yeti's help, they continue their journey and looking for a way to treat Rick. Finally, now they have arrived at Shangri-La, a place that can give eternal life. And unexpectedly, they met with Zi Yuan, a powerful and knowledgeable witch who is still alive after thousands of years. She has lived eternally in the cave, and Lin is her daughter who has also lived eternally for centuries. After treating Rick's wounds, Zi Yuan tells that she still holds a grudge against Emperor who killed General Ming, who is her husband and Lin's biological father. Alex was surprised to know Lin has lived more than 2,000 years. Even though their ages are extremely different, but they can't deny that they have fallen in love. Joe tells them that Rick regained consciousness. Alex immediately met him. At the same time, Lin was also talking to his mother, and suddenly they were attacked by Emperor. Zi Yuan tries to fight him, but Emperor manages to enter the pool of Shangri-La and transforms himself into a three-headed dragon. He attacked them by spitting fire from his mouth. Emperor then held Lin hostage and flew to meet General Yang's army. Rick and his team also took a plane to chase him. Now, Emperor can change his form as he wishes. He then raised thousands of terracotta warriors from the dead to join the fight. Seeing the Emperor's tyranny happened again, Zi Yuan was furious and took a big risk. She cast a spell and was willing to sacrifice her and her daughter's immortality for raising the corpses of her ancestors, all the people who had been killed by Emperor in the past. Slowly the burial ground began to crack, the bones began to move and rise again. They all will fight for justice and take their revenge against Emperor. Meanwhile, Alex himself tries to sneak into a military camp and free Lin from the hostages. Rick and Evelyn tried to shoot down the terracotta warriors. Jonathan also attacked from an airplane. Meanwhile, the mummies from among the people attacked Emperor's soldiers. And Zi Yuan fought him one-on-one. To retrieve the special dagger, Zi Yuan allowed herself to be pierced by Emperor's sword, and when she fell down, she grabbed it, then handed the dagger to her daughter, Lin. And after handing over the dagger, Zi Yuan died in her daughter's lap. Emperor tried some trick to remove Zi Yuan's spell so he could eliminate the undead bodies from among the people, but Alex prevented him. Emperor was furious. He turned himself into a monster and attacked Alex. Rick comes from behind and stabs the dagger in Emperor's shoulder. It doesn't work. Emperor throws the dagger until it breaks in two. At the same time, Lin and Evelyn also fought General Ming. They both managed to kill Ming and his assistant. Alex took the dagger's tip and stabbed the Emperor from behind, while Rick stabs the dagger hilt from the front. The two sides of the dagger stabbed each other through the heart. Emperor then burned to death. So even with all terracotta warriors. At the final moment, General Ming in undead body looks at his daughter Lin for the first and last time, then disappears into dust. At night, they celebrate the victory against Mummy. Rick dances with Evelyn. Lin, who is now living a normal life without immortality, chooses to love Alex and live with him. While Jonathan now goes and takes the diamond with him. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for the next recap. See you.